Normally, I like to give a little introduction or leading to the subject I bring to the table to be discussed in our podcasts. But this time, I'm stuck for an intro because I've never witnessed, not even in a school playground, what I'm about to say.
Hmm.
It's a first for my almost 65 years of age. So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Right.
I've never seen cowardice on such a large scale than I have the other day. Of course, I'm not going to bring up what went on the other day in the Middle East when it
Yeah.
directly involved the UK. No matter what happened before, I don't care. One could argue that our government was asleep at the wheel, but the moment that one of our military bases was attacked by no matter who it was, some sort of swift reaction should have been seen. Not only was the RAF base attacked in Cyprus, Iran vowed to send a lot more from where that came from. So why weren't the jets scrambled? If the base had a rocket launcher, why wasn't the Iranian regime offered some change, even as a warning? You don't mess with the British military.
Mm.
Let's see what happened instead. So RAF Akrotiri, base with around 5,500 staff and family members, was hit by a drone. Major General Jabari of the High Command of the Iranian army said there'll be more missiles and drones aimed at the base in the next oncoming days.
Mm.
The military staff were told to take cover in the barracks under heavy furniture and hunker down. That was the response. Defence Secretary John Healey said the attack was an error and it was fruit of indiscriminate firing. That Iran didn't really mean to hit the base, even though one was a direct hit and one was close.
Yeah.
But I digress. Fast forward 2 days and still no retaliation from the
Mm.
UK military. Only staff and family members being confined to barracks.
Mm.
Some people were able to return to the UK off the base via Ryanair of all carriers, but many were left behind because of logistical mix-ups. But when all said and done, it was action taken in retreat mode, and not even a stand your ground. They were just. So what did the Brits do? Asked France to help protect the base, and so France sent a nearby ship to help, as did Greece. Greece. Back in the UK, the Prime Minister was kowtowing to the Muslim clerics, and MPs were taking dancing lessons. Looked like Nero playing violin whilst his kingdom burned to the ground on crack. So after a lot of toing and froing, the government reluctantly decided to send a Navy frigate. First choice was HMS Duncan,
Mm.
but as the base in Cyprus was being attacked, the Royal Navy was celebrating Family Day on board of the vessel, and so Duncan could not be used. Second choice was HMS Dragon, along with 2 helicopters to help out in a war zone. But even that took the Navy by surprise, and it was caught with its trousers down, informing the government it would take a week to muster the ship and around another to get to the focal point of the mission. Who knows if all the fighting will be over by the time they get there? We've said time and time again in our podcast that the Navy is not up to scratch. We've said it before for a long
Oh
time.
yeah.
Lucky our archives are live to add credence to my words. So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to look in our old podcast can see what I'm saying is true.
Mm.
What was once a force to be reckoned with on the world stage has become a hollow form of itself from years ago when I was a small boy and my dad was in the military. Then the UK military was deemed to be, the bee's knees.
Gold standard. Yeah.
It looks like all that's left of the government, no matter who it is, to change the design of the Union flag to be just plain white background and leave it at that. A shameful last few days. But I feel that the worst is yet to come.
Well, the way you've just described it makes it all sound so ridiculous, you know. Um, uh,
Just to have an update today, Spain is sending a ship to help guard Cyprus as well. And one of the governors in Spain has ridiculed the
I'm
UK.
not surprised.
Spain,
If I was them, I'd be well. Okay, I mean, I'm not blaming the dancing and the all other curriculum or whatever else politicians are doing
extracurricular
in the UK
activity.
and all that aside. Yeah, I'm not blaming the current administration for the state the armed forces in that
No, for a long time.
everyone has to take credit for, or everyone has to take the blame for that.
Yeah.
Um, it could be that the present administration has been trying to do something about it and doesn't have the money, the cash, or whatever reasons to do it. Now, but also within the administration of the Navy, of the armed forces, you saw this coming. I mean, a family day on a ship, bring your child to work day. Yeah, I don't even agree with that in an office. Be quite honest, because you're there. That's your place of employment. It's not a playground.
Yeah.
Um, you're not focused on doing your job. Yeah. Um, and as we now found out, we've been caught, as you say, caught with it that they had a serious job to do and they couldn't do because they were having a jolly on a ship, a bit like politicians dancing in the UK at the time as well.
Dancing
Uh,
with the Captain, as Paul Nicholas used to sing.
well, I remember the Sex Pistols song, "Freaking in the Rigging." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, can I say that one? I've said it now.
Not really.
Yeah. Too bad. Um, actually, kind of sums it all up, really, doesn't it? Yeah. Um, yeah, it is a. I mean, by the sounds of it, it's a complete mess. Um, and that's probably the kindest thing you can say about it. Um, yeah, I mean, I always understood that the idea of having a military is it was on ready 24, 12 hours standby, in effect. As you said, get ready to go, lads. Yeah. Emergency drills and everything else, training, absolutely everything. Get ready to go. Um,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, there used to be a term we always used to use it on the railway. Got to get the ship shape, which is an old naval term meaning got to be ready all the time. No excuses. Um, I know people that were in the Navy in the 60s and 70s. If you said, "Oh, we're not ready," and all that, there'll be some very serious um, words coming down from the Admiralty. Yeah. Why aren't you ready? If you couldn't do it, why didn't you tell us? It was always about contingency cover. I mean, admittedly, the Falklands was a bit of an embarrassment as well, but that was a bigger task force that had to go there. But yeah.
to be fair, the top brass of the military has been complaining over a
Mm,
long time
yeah, yeah.
to the various administrations of the UK, but their calls have been falling on deaf ears.
But of course, I mean, with all jokes aside, I believe that the last, I only know this anecdotally, that the last minister of defence that anyone took seriously was Michael Portillo. Yeah. I mean, he was a serious man. I couldn't stand him as a politician, really, because of what he did to the railways. But yeah, that again, he admitted that maybe there was a few mistakes, really. But yeah, but okay. Um, but yeah, apparently he used to push for things. Apparently, so I've been told. Yeah, and he could be a nasty piece of work when he needed to be. He could have pushed and probably become prime minister, but he wasn't popular in the right areas. He'd have probably done too good a job and was too much his own person. Yeah, I've realised this after the event because at the time I was on the side of listening to the mass media criticising Portillo. I saw him once in London. I ignored him. Yeah, which is to my shame, really, because I believe he's an excellent broadcaster now, an intellectual, and somebody that could have done a lot more for the country. Yeah. Possibly. I mean, yeah, who knows? It's a what if. Certainly a damn sight better than anything we've got at the moment. Yeah. Although the bar's not very high on that one, is it? I'm I mean, okay. I heard all this going around and I'm thinking, surely not. Now, okay, what's happening with Iran is one thing. They're firing off drones, they're panicking, they're sending off, they're trying to draw other countries into it, they're trying to cause confusion. They've got a warped sense of strategy. Yeah. The Iranian administration. It's an administration in turmoil. Yeah. Whichever way you look at it. I mean, the Israelis managed to hit them when they were in a room trying to choose their next leader. Yeah. Which is quite something. Which if I was an Iranian would be sending alarm bells that these guys know where I am any moment of the day. But yeah, the Israelis are doing well, better than we are now. The UK is. Um, it's an embarrassment. Or the story around it is an embarrassment. Um, my big question, okay, everyone makes mistakes. Is the UK administration going to learn from it?
It
Yeah.
hasn't done in the past.
I mean, I feel sorry for all servicemen at the moment for the UK.
Yes, they're the ones that take it, get it in the neck.
You can hear my voice. I'm emotional for them because I've met many. I've met many former ones, and yeah, I watched the guys on parade, and I nearly joined their ranks once and didn't. For I've explained before. I would be if I was a serving at the moment. I'd be pretty cheesed off, to put it bluntly, politely. Yeah. The way that they're being treated, the way they're being exposed. I mean, it's just not. You're out there. You do expect a certain amount of support from the UK government. And what they're doing to servicemen, they're putting them on trial for things that happened in a conflict zone 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. Yeah. Disgusting. I wouldn't serve my country for that. I wouldn't serve for Starmer, period. I'll be quite honest. The guy's a sellout. The guy's okay. I mean, whatever he did the other day strategically and all that, we can argue the rights and wrongs of that. There's probably good arguments on both sides, but not being prepared. And maybe this is the problem. Maybe he didn't want anyone particularly having a look around the bases. I don't know how much the Americans would know about the bases, but well, no, it's American bases they wanted to use, admittedly, but maybe yeah, he knows that the UK is in no readiness to enter any theatre of war, despite what has been said in quite recent times about Eastern Europe. Now, I'm going to put something else to you. You're President Putin. You're sitting in your desk chair.
You need to be any foreign leader.
Yeah.
They're the same place where you and I are. We're
Yeah.
on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
What do we see on the horizon?
Yeah.
You know, the UK will not. It's not going to be taken seriously. It isn't even being taken seriously by Europe now.
Yeah, but I don't think Europe is the rest of Europe's in.
Spain just give them the middle finger. For
Well,
goodness sake.
well, okay. They've given. Okay. I mean, I don't know how war ready Spain would be, how conflict ready Spain would
Well,
be.
they've got a ship going there now.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait until next week because
Yeah.
somebody wants to wrap the sandwiches up in foil.
Um, I'm like, yeah, it's a kind of I'm even looking for positives. Yeah, what could be going on? Are we preparing for the next, if you like, run down the conventional forces to prepare for what is coming in wars with drones and with everything else. Why spend money now on conventional forces when the next force is going to be a slightly different technology? My mind is racing around trying to find reasoning for it because I like to find reasoning. I like to say, well, this is this. What could be the reasoning behind it? And yeah, I mean, okay, I'm privy to the same information you have, or read what you have, probably a lot less because I started to read a lot just the other day, and when you're just feeling the tension rising and rising, and you're thinking, how could this be so ridiculous? Yeah. And then I think, well, maybe the media are overplaying it. Maybe there is an agreement already in place with these other countries or other things as well that we all back each other at some unofficial or some contingency European plan. I
During
try.
during the during the 70s, Mark. During the 70s, the UK had 40, 40 frigates.
Mm.
Now it's got 12.
Um.
Uh,
Okay.
half
Well,
of them, half of them are in dock being repaired.
yeah. I mean, admittedly, the I was reading the other day about the US fleet downsizing a bit because they don't require such a big fleet anymore because of modern technology. I mean, you send a cruise missile to somewhere, a tomahawk or whatever, um, it's heavily investing heavily in drones, be they bombing drones. I don't know if the Americans operate suicide drones or not. Um, but um, it's it's a kind of, yeah. I accepted a long time ago that the UK was at the end of the empire days. Yeah,
Oh,
which, yeah, yeah. The end has probably happened in my lifetime, to be quite honest. Yeah, yeah, early in my lifetime, and I can accept that. I can also accept when they're talking about different other relationships and everything else. I don't believe we've had a special relationship with the US since the 1980s. Not
well,
really.
whatever relationship we had with them has been destroyed in the
Well,
space. Yeah.
there's still things going in the background, but yes, but there was a reliance on the US to do what they're doing, and then they get to be the bogeyman and get everything thrown at them. And yes, this is why probably Europe has run down its armed forces a lot, including the UK, which we were the pride of Europe, us and the French. I mean, despite what we say about the French waving right flags, it's a bit of a joke. When you actually read when the French have gone into engagement, they are not cowards. They're actually very good at holding lines. Yeah, but
And
yeah,
it looks like that the UK is taken on that role.
I don't want to be negative. I'm trying to find positive. Be find reasoning. Yeah. Um. I mean, it's sad we're in a conflict situation. Whatever led up to it, who's the fault? But yeah, but it's even more embarrassing to be found out the way it has been found out, unless some credible explanations can be given. But I'm sorry, a ship not being available because they're having a fun day on board. Um, what is this? HMS Codfish? You know, older people will know what I'm talking about there. Yeah.